Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here and I walk with you calmly, like someone talking in the shade of a tree after a long day. First of all, let your heart rest. True prosperity doesn't begin in hurry or noise or comparison. It begins when your perspective changes, and that is exactly what I meant to teach when I said, the kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. Do you see, son? The treasure was already there. It did not fall from the sky in that moment. It did not appear because someone asked for it. It was hidden, quiet, waiting for someone who had eyes to see beyond the surface. Many walked through that same field. They stepped on it. They worked there. They grew tired there. And still they noticed nothing. And that is how it happens with you today. There are people who live for years in the same place, with the same opportunities around them, with the same gifts in their hands, and they say, I have nothing. There's no way out. I wasn't chosen. But the truth is, treasure rarely shows up in an obvious way. It requires attention, sensitivity, a willingness to dig where others would not dig. Daughter, wealth begins within. It begins when your heart learns to recognize value where others see only routine. Where others see a problem, you begin to see a lesson. Where others see a limit, you begin to see direction. Where others see only dirt, you find something precious. The man in the parable did something many consider foolish. He sold everything to buy that field. But let me tell you gently, that was not loss. It was freedom. He did not give up what was essential. He gave up what was unnecessary to protect what truly mattered. Today, many want to prosper without choosing. They want to carry everything. They want to please everyone. They want to keep every possibility open. And they end up exhausted, empty, frustrated. Because prosperity requires clarity. And clarity requires letting go. Do not be afraid of that. I never called you to live in lack, but I also never promised you abundance without discernment. The treasure is not revealed to distracted eyes. It is revealed to the one who slows down, observes, and listens. In your time there is a lot of false shine, many quick promises, many paths that seem easy, but demand a high price later. The treasure of the kingdom does not shout. It whispers. It does not force itself. It waits to be recognized. Son, perhaps the field is closer than you think. Perhaps it is in a skill you dismissed, in work done faithfully when no one applauds, in a simple idea you set aside out of fear of judgment, in a process that feels too slow for a rushed world. The prosperity that lasts begins when you learn to see with the eyes of the heart, not only with the eyes of the world. Today, I want to leave you with a simple but powerful step. Set aside a few minutes of your day to look at your own life with honesty and gentleness. Ask yourself, what have I treated as ordinary, but it could carry great value if I cared for it better? Do not answer in a rush. Listen, I am here. I do not hurry you. I do not compare you. I do not condemn you. I only guide you. If this teaching touched your heart and you love God, write Amen in the comments. Not as an empty ritual, but as a whisper of faith saying, I want to see more clearly. Love is the way. Vision changes destinies. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and I keep walking by your side. Listen to me with an open heart. After speaking about the hidden treasure, I told another parable very close to it, but with an even deeper lesson. I said, the kingdom of heaven is also like a merchant seeking fine pearls. And when he found one pearl of great value, he went and sold all he had and bought it. Do you see, son? This is not about someone who found something by accident. This is about someone who was searching, an experienced merchant, someone who already knew pearls, who had seen many, who already owned some. And yet, when he saw that one pearl, he understood immediately. Every other one lost its meaning compared to it. This is one of the greatest secrets of true prosperity. Focus. Many want to grow, but they split their heart in 1,000 directions. They want to serve God, but also serve fear. They want to build something solid, but they refuse to let go of what distracts them. They want depth, but they live on the surface. And they end up tired because trying to hold everything makes you lose what is essential. I never called you to a fragmented life. I called you to an aligned life. Daughter, the pearl of great value represents what gives meaning to everything else. When it is found, everything organizes itself around it. Before, the merchant owned many pearls, but kept searching. After, he owned only one, and he rested. Today, many accumulate things, experiences, connections, projects, but they do not rest, because nothing holds the center place. Nothing governs their choices. Nothing defines their priorities. Without focus, even abundance becomes heavy. I tell you with love, prosperity is not quantity. It is direction. In your time, you are constantly pulled in every direction. Voices say, do this too. Don't miss that. Be afraid to choose. If you don't do everything, you'll fall behind. But whoever lives like that never goes deep. And whoever never goes deep never builds something that lasts. The man in the parable sold everything, not because everything was bad, but because everything was secondary compared to what was essential. He did not become poor. He simplified, and in simplicity, he found strength. Son, maybe today your heart is divided. Maybe you are trying to hold many pearls in your hands, afraid to let any of them go. But let me tell you gently, hands that are too full cannot hold what truly matters. A simple practice for you today: write down somewhere what most consumes your energy, your time, and your attention. Then ask honestly, does this bring me closer to or farther from what has eternal value? What does not support your purpose needs to be re-examined. Do not be afraid to choose. Choosing is not losing, it is aligning. When the heart aligns, decisions become clearer, resources go further, and the mind rests. I am here. I do not rush you. I do not force you. I only invite you to look within and recognize what your pearl is. Love is the way. Focus protects the heart. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, looking at you with the same love with which I looked at those to whom I told this parable. Listen carefully, because many get confused here. When I spoke about the talents, I was not teaching only about money. I was revealing a kingdom principle that governs every prosperity that lasts. I said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much." Do you see, son? Every servant received something. No one was left empty-handed. The difference was not in how much they received, but in what they did with what was in their hands. 2 servants acted. 1 froze. 2 trusted. 1 was afraid. The talent that was buried was not lost through theft, nor by bad luck. It was lost through inertia. Today, many bury their talents without realizing it. They bury them out of fear of failing. They bury them through comparison. They bury them while waiting for perfect conditions. They bury them because someone said it wasn't enough. And while they wait, time passes, opportunities change, and the heart begins to close. Daughter, I never gave you something to be hidden. What I entrusted to you was given to be used, cared for, developed. Even if it seems small in your eyes, in mine it carries the potential to multiply. The servant who buried the talent justified himself by saying he was afraid. I know that fear. It still exists today. Fear of trying and failing. Fear of investing and losing. Fear of being seen. Fear of starting small. But let me tell you gently, fear never protects prosperity. It only postpones it until it is lost. The faithful servants did not know exactly how everything would end. They simply acted responsibly. They did the best they could with what they had. They did not complain about the amount. They did not wait for more. They moved. Son, prosperity does not grow while standing still. What is not used grows weak. What is used wisely grows strong. That is why the one who is faithful in little becomes able to manage much. In your time, many wait for motivation to act, when in fact motivation is born after action. They wait for total safety, when the kingdom operates by trust. They wait for recognition when true growth happens in silence. A simple practice for you today. Choose one thing that is already in your hands, a talent, a resource, a skill, an opportunity, and decide to use it better starting now. Not everything, just one. Take the first step with faithfulness. Movement opens doors that waiting will never open. I do not call you to perfection, but to loving responsibility. I do not call you to a burden, but to participation. When you act with wisdom, I multiply. It has always been this way. Do not be afraid to start small. Small in the right hands grows. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Making a mistake while learning is worth more than getting it right while hiding. Do not bury what was entrusted to you. I am here, walking with you, seeing every effort that no one else sees. And I tell you with love, your faithfulness does not go unnoticed. Love is the way. Aligned action produces growth. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here walking with you at a steady pace because I know the exact timing of all things. Listen with a calm heart. When I taught about the seed that grows in secret, I was speaking directly to hearts tired of waiting. I said, the earth produces by itself. First the blade, then the head, then the full grain. Everything happens, even when no one notices. Everything grows, even when there is no applause. Do you see, son? The kingdom does not develop in noise. It blooms in silence. In my time, those who lived off the land understood this deeply. The farmer did not doubt the seed every day. He did not dig up the ground to see if something was happening. He respected the process. He knew that beneath the soil, there was an invisible but essential work. Roots were being formed before any sign appeared on the surface. So it is with you. There are seasons of your life when it feels like nothing is changing. You do what is right, you work hard, you organize your steps, you pray, you learn, and still the results don't show up the way you hoped, and your heart begins to feel heavy. But let me tell you with love, silence is not the absence of growth. Many times it is the very sign that something deep is being built. Daughter, before I give you something greater, I need to strengthen what holds you up on the inside. True prosperity is not born from rushing. It is born from consistency. It is born from faithfulness in ordinary days. It is born from patience that trusts even without seeing. In your time, everything is displayed. People show only the harvest, never the planting. They show the outcome, never the process. That makes many believe they are behind, when in fact they are simply in the right season of maturing. I have seen many quit because they could not endure the silence. I have seen others remain faithful, even without visible signs, and later harvest something that did not depend on anyone's approval. Because what grows in secret develops deep roots, and deep roots don't fall easily. Son, quiet growth teaches humility. It teaches discipline. It teaches trust. It teaches doing good even when no one sees. While the world rushes, you learn to remain. While others compare, you learn to care. While many give up, you strengthen what no one sees. And that is what holds everything up later. Today, a simple practice can help you. Choose to stay faithful to something good, even if it seems small and unseen. It can be a habit, an organization, a skill you're building, an inner change. Don't abandon it just because there is no immediate result. The unseen is working in your favor. And now let me hear from you a little. Write in the comments. What area of your life feels quiet right now, but you sense God is working? Sharing that can strengthen other hearts that are also waiting. I am here. I see every seed planted with love. None of them is forgotten. In the right time, the fruit will appear, steady, healthy, and lasting. Love is the way. Patience protects the purpose. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and I keep walking with you in truth and love. Listen carefully, because many stumble right here. When I spoke about being faithful in little, I was not teaching something small. I was revealing a principle that supports every prosperity that does not collapse with time. I said, "Whoever is faithful in little is also faithful in much." These words were not spoken to pressure you, but to awaken awareness. Do you see, son? Abundance is not born from big strokes of luck. It is born from daily discipline, from repeated choices, from consistent care, from simple decisions made faithfully when no one is watching. In my time, many wanted much without caring for little. They wanted great harvests without preparing the soil. They wanted honor without responsibility. That has not changed. Even today, many ask for growth but despise organization. They ask for provision but do not care for what they receive. They ask for open doors but are not faithful to the ones already open. Daughter, the little reveals the heart. How do you treat what you already have? How do you care for your time? How do you organize your resources? How do you respond to small responsibilities? Those answers say more about your future than big dreams that are never practiced. The faithful steward understands that every detail matters. He does not live in extremes. He does not waste in good days, and he does not panic in hard days. He learns to manage with balance because he knows true abundance is built, not improvised. Today, many confuse abundance with excess, but excess without discipline produces chaos. The kingdom does not work that way. I never called you to disorder. I called you to intentional care. Son, discipline is not a prison. Discipline is protection. It protects your future from the impulsive decisions of the present. It protects your peace. It protects the fruit of your work. In your time, the temptation of shortcuts is strong. Everything promises speed. Everything looks easy. But what is built without structure cannot carry weight. You have seen it happen. Quick gains that disappear, opportunities that dissolve, growth that doesn't last. Not because the blessing was wrong, but because the management was fragile. I tell you with love, do not despise the simple habit of taking good care of what you receive. Planning, organizing, setting aside, honoring commitments, saying no when necessary. These quiet choices create security and make room for healthy growth. A simple practice for today: choose one area of your life that is disorganized and bring order to it. It can be your time, your money, your routine, or your commitments. Not everything at once, just one. Take that step faithfully. Order creates space for abundance to flow. I see every small effort. I see when you choose balance instead of impulse. I see when you care for the little with gratitude. And I tell you, whoever is faithful in little becomes able to carry much without losing peace. I am here, walking with you, teaching you to build something that will not collapse. Love is the way. Discipline is the foundation. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and I continue teaching you like one who knows the human heart and the pathways of life. Listen closely, because many suffer unnecessary losses for not understanding this principle. When I told the parable of the sower, I said the seed fell on different kinds of soil. Some did not prosper, others grew only a little, but part of it fell on good soil and produced fruit, 160, 30-fold. Do you see, son? The seed was the same. The sower, too. What changed was the environment. I wanted to show you that prosperity does not depend only on what you have, but on where and how you apply what you have. There are people who place all their expectations in one place, one source, one strategy, one relationship, and when that fails, everything collapses. In the kingdom, wisdom is also discerning the soils. Daughter, not every ground is ready at the same time. Not every opportunity matures the same way. Not every person receives in the same way. The wise sower does not control the soil, but he learns from it. He watches, adjusts, and keeps sowing. In your time, many quit early because one attempt didn't work. Others cling to a single source out of fear of trying something new. But I tell you with love, whoever sows only in one soil becomes a hostage to it. Whoever spreads with wisdom learns, grows, and harvests. Diversifying is not a lack of faith. It is understanding. It is learning new skills. It is developing more than one source. It is planting into healthy relationships. It is investing time in personal growth. It is not depending on a single path as if it were absolute. Son, the sower did not stop casting seed because some fell on bad soil. He kept going. He learned. He persisted. And it was exactly that consistency that secured an abundant harvest. I see many today discouraged because they tried once and it didn't work. But prosperity is not about getting it right every time. It is about continuing to sow with wisdom. Every attempt teaches. Every mistake adjusts. Every experience prepares the next soil. In the kingdom, even losses teach when the heart is open. A simple practice for you today. Notice whether you have placed all your expectations in just one area of your life. If so, ask yourself honestly, where can I learn, plant, or develop something new with balance? This is not about excess. It is about health. I did not call you to fragile dependence, but to stability. And stability is born when there is more than one root holding up the tree. Do not condemn yourself for seeds that did not take. Learn from them. The wise sower does not weep over bad soil. He keeps planting until he finds fertile ground. I am here, walking with you every step, teaching you to harvest not only more but better. Love is the way. Wisdom guides the sowing. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and now I lead you to the center of everything I have told you so far. Listen with your whole heart. After telling parables, teaching about seeds, talents, pearls, growth, and faithfulness, I revealed a principle that holds all the others together. I said with clarity and love, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Do you see, son? I did not say, seek all the things. I said, seek first. Many reverse that order. They chase security and then look for peace. They chase money and then look for meaning. They chase recognition and then look for identity. And they live tired because whatever is pursued outside its right place becomes heavy. When God does not hold first place, even prosperity turns into a chase. The person runs after it, compares themselves, fears losing it, never rests. But when the kingdom is at the center, prosperity changes positions. It stops being the target and becomes the result. Daughter, seeking the kingdom is not abandoning responsibilities. It is not escaping the world. It is aligning the heart. It is deciding that your values will govern your choices. It is putting justice, truth, love, and mercy above anxiety and greed. I have seen people poor in possessions live rich in peace. I have seen people rich in possessions live poor in rest. The difference was not in what they owned, but in who ruled the heart. In your time, there is so much pressure to prove your worth, to show results, to keep up appearances. That steals joy and distorts decisions. But when you seek the kingdom first, you choose with more clarity. You say no to what pulls you away from purpose. You say yes to what builds, even if it is slower. Son, God does not compete with your needs. He orders them. When the kingdom comes first, you manage better. When the kingdom comes first, you sleep better. When the kingdom comes first, you do not bargain away your values out of fear. When the kingdom comes first, you build something that does not depend on circumstances to remain. A simple practice for today. Before making important decisions, financial, professional, or relational, ask quietly, does this honor the kingdom? Does this move me closer to justice, truth, and love? That simple question prevents many painful roads. I did not promise that everything would come the way you imagine. I promised it would come. In the right time, in the right way, sustainable, without stealing your peace. And if these words are helping you, if you want to walk with me in the next teachings and episodes, subscribe so you can keep following along. Not out of obligation, but so we can stay together on this journey of growth and heart alignment. I am here. Love is the way. When the kingdom comes first, everything else finds its place. Son, Daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and today I speak directly to your heart that is tired of worrying about tomorrow. When I walked among you and saw anxiety taking over so many eyes, I stopped and said, "Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. If God so clothes the grass of the field, will he not much more clothe you?" I did not say this to deny the reality of work or responsibility. I said it to heal the fear that paralyzes and confuses. Do you see, son? Anxiety is not wisdom. Anxiety is too much future crowding out the present. When the mind is dominated by fear of tomorrow, decisions stop being wise. A person accepts anything out of insecurity, spends impulsively to relieve tension, clings to what does not build them up out of fear of losing. Anxiety impoverishes not because resources are missing, but because clarity is missing. Daughter, trusting is not crossing your arms. Trusting is working with a peaceful heart. It is planning without desperation. It is building without panic. It is saying, "I'll do my part today, and I'll entrust tomorrow." The lilies grow. They are not stagnant, but they are not anxious either. They receive what they need at the right time. And I use that example to remind you of something essential. You are worth far more. In your time, there is a constant fear of not being enough, not having enough, not making it in time. That fear drains energy, steals creativity, and wearies the soul. But when you trust, the mind settles. Choices become more intentional. Your vision widens. Son, anxiety makes you react. Trust helps you choose. When you trust, you think more clearly. When you trust, you negotiate better. When you trust, you do not act out of panic. When you trust, you see opportunities where you once saw only threats. I did not promise an absence of challenges. I promised my presence in the middle of them. Trust does not remove work. It removes the unnecessary weight that keeps you from growing. A simple practice for today. Notice how you've been making decisions when fear shows up. Before you act, breathe and say quietly, "Today I'll do what is mine to do, and I'll trust the rest." That small act calms the heart and brings clarity back to the mind. Daughter, prosperity is also living lightly. It is not carrying burdens that do not belong to you. It is learning to sleep in peace even while you are building. I am here. I will not leave you alone in tomorrow. Walk in trust today, and the next step will be revealed. Love is the way. Trust sets the mind free. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here, and now I speak to you about what holds everything steady when the wind blows. When I taught about the house built on the rock, I was not speaking only about faith in words. I was speaking about lived-out life. I said, "Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock." Look closely, son. Hearing was not enough. The difference was in doing. Many build. Few lay a foundation. I have seen beautiful houses fall. I have seen impressive structures collapse. Not because they were small, but because they were on sand. Sand seems firm at first. It is easier to shape. It takes less work, but it cannot withstand the storm. So it is with prosperity without a foundation. Daughter, it does not matter how much someone grows if they grow without principles, without discipline, without truth, without alignment with what is good. When crisis comes, and it always comes, everything built without a base is lost, not as punishment, but as consequence. In your time, many want quick results. They build without planning. They gain without structure. They rise without strengthened character. And when the winds of financial, emotional, or relational crisis arrive, what looked strong crumbles. I do not say this to create fear. I say it to create wisdom. The rock is what does not change with circumstances. It is values practiced when no one is watching. It is choosing what is right even when it is hard. It is telling the truth when lying seems easier. It is keeping integrity when the shortcut looks tempting. Son, a foundation is not visible at first. No one applauds the footing. No one praises what stays buried. But it is exactly what holds everything up later. Solid prosperity is born from quiet decisions made with consistency. In the kingdom, hearing without doing creates illusion. Doing, even little by little, creates security. A simple practice for today. Choose one principle you know is right. Organization, honesty, discipline, faithfulness, balance, and decide to apply it in a concrete way in your life, starting now. Not tomorrow. Today. Small practices build strong foundations. Daughter, storms are not a sign of failure. They only reveal where the house was built. A house on the rock may shake, but it will not fall. And after the storm, it remains standing. If these words help you and can help other hearts who are also building through difficulties, like and share this episode so more people can be reached. Love grows when it is shared. I am here, walking with you, teaching you to build not only for today, but to cross through every season of life. Love is the way. The foundation protects the future. Son, daughter, peace be with you. I am here. We have reached the end of this journey together, and I speak to you like one who sits down at dusk after a long road to store in the heart what truly matters. When I spoke about the watchful steward, I wanted to reveal one of the most forgotten secrets of prosperity. Staying steady is just as important as getting there. I said, "Who then is the faithful and wise servant whom the master entrusted with his possessions?" Notice, son, I did not speak only about receiving possessions, but about caring for them with awareness and consistency. Many know how to achieve. Few know how to sustain. Prosperity is not lost only because resources run out. Many times it is lost because vigilance fades. When someone relaxes too much, when they forget that everything they have is entrusted, not absolute ownership, the heart drifts, habits unravel, and little by little what was built begins to slip through their fingers. Daughter, everything that comes into your hands carries responsibility. The time you've been given, the money that passes through you, the opportunities that appear, the people who trust you, the gifts that awaken in your heart. None of this is random. All of it requires care. A watchful steward does not live in fear, but in attentiveness. He does not control everything, but he pays attention. He does not waste, but he also does not live greedy. He understands that caring well today protects tomorrow. In your time, many live on autopilot. They spend without noticing. They choose without thinking. They fill their days without purpose. And then they wonder why peace decreased, why money feels tighter, why life lost clarity. The answer is almost always the lack of loving vigilance. Son, to watch is not to distrust life. It is to honor life. It is to review choices. It is to adjust direction. It is to recognize excess. It is to correct small drifts before they become great falls. I have seen servants who started well but lost their way because they thought they no longer needed to pay attention. I have also seen simple servants remain steady because they never stopped treating the little with respect. And I tell you, whoever stays faithful in vigilance builds something that lasts through time. True prosperity is not a peak. It is a steady line. It is not showing off. It is balance. It is not only receiving, it is managing with wisdom. A simple practice for today, and perhaps the most important of all, set aside time to review your life with honesty and gentleness. Ask yourself, what has God entrusted to me today, and how have I cared for it? Not to shame yourself, but to realign. Small adjustments now prevent big losses later. Daughter, everything that is cared for flourishes. Everything that is neglected grows weak. I am here, not only at the beginning of your journey, but in its continuation as well. I walk with you when you receive and also when you need to learn to care for what you've been given. Stay watchful, stay humble, stay loving. Then prosperity will not be temporary, but a faithful companion. Love is the way. Responsibility preserves the blessing, and faithfulness sustains everything that has been entrusted. I am here. Peace be with you.